Hello, winners, and welcome to this week's Forex forecast for EURUSD, USD, Pound Yen, Gold, USDCAD, and USOIL update of trades because there has been a very eventful day today. We have seen a lot of volatility. We have seen a lot of market movements, and we have gone from risk on, no, from risk off to risk on. What is risk on is when USD yen gets weak and Euro and Aussie and New Zealand is heading higher in a very, very, very fast manner today. So I can hear myself very clearly. Good. So my name is Ewinningstrategy, a Forex trader, economist, mentor, helper, guru, king, Viking, pipper. What else am I being called? I've been called guru once, so that's not really a nickname that has been told many times throughout my life. But hello, I'm Zola. Shroom, what's up, buddy? I'm well. How are you? Ads, there you are. Awesome. Okay, so let's go around the world, I guess. So where do we go? Where do we start? Where do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Okay. First of all, I just want to, while we're still waiting, we can go into fxstreet.com and waiting for people to come in, because I also want to go through the economic calendar for next week. Okay. My Bitmaster. Awesome. So while we are still here, yeah, people are coming in now. Okay, so while we're here, I just want to go quickly, and then you can go back in this video, just refer to this now. We'll do it properly. I will point out the points you need to do and have a specific eye on, and maybe read a report. Okay, so let's go. Missouri Zana Pratik. Milano says no sound. That's weird because I have sound. Good. Then we start. RBA meeting minutes. This is not an interest rate meeting, but it's the overall discussion that has been happening. So that's a really important thing. If you are an Aussie trader, you have to read this one. Then if you're a pound trader, you have to look for the employment. You have to also put this into your fundamental bias report that you are supposed to make as a trader. Then we have the economic sentiment, really important for Euro. Nothing else. That was Tuesday. So RBA meeting minutes, unemployment, average earnings maybe, and then sentiment. Okay, let's go. For pound, very important to look for the CPI, and also the core is also very important. Consumer price index core is also very important. That's what the Fed, that's what the central bank is looking at. Then we're CPI for Europe and CPI for CAD. Okay, that sounds like a good deal to me. And yeah, so what did I mention? Central bank report, CPI, unemployment, 3 CPIs. That's really important. So what is the most important indicator for economic activity apart from the interest rate? Any guess? CPI. So that's why it's so important. It is the most important economic factor to watch out for. Okay. Then you have jobless claims. Then you have PMI, also important. PMI. Good. Write that down when you get the numbers into your fundamental bias, so you can look into, is it there a change? Is there no change? Is the market still the same? Is the economy still doing better, or is it doing better? Is it worse, or is it still the same? And then retail sales for pound, and then retail sales for CAD. Done. OCPI for Japan. Okay, so choose your currency, and then you take notes of what is happening, and then Powell is going to talk. So what really happened yesterday? Oh lordy, this is why we are going higher now. The thing here is, Powell said yesterday two things, and you can both could potentially be positive if you just look at it. Powell said, the central bank, the chairman of the central bank in America, he says, or Fed, he says, we have more ammunition and we have endless ammunition to put into the economy. Positive, awesome. What he also said, he doesn't think that the economy is going to be back on track until the end of 2021. Ooh, that's bad. But what is really interesting here is, he said that they have more ammunition and they think it's going to be bad, but that means that if it's going to be bad, then the market can interpret that as they're going to do more stimulus. Awesome! And that's what I kind of hear now. And this is why we have had this move. Almost without any pullback. Almost without any pullback. We're actually take profit for the week on euro already. Pound is not doing the same. That has a pullback. Gold is going lower, coming into the area of where I said you could start buying. Pound yen, not the same. New Zealand dollar, straight up like a rocket ship. USDCAD, down like Titanic. So really, today we really went from risk off on Friday, boom. On the opposite side, we're just 180-degree turnaround, right? Yeah, okay, good. You're back now. Awesome. Aussie-CAD, New Zealand yen, EURUSD, New Zealand Swiss, New Zealand USD. Hi, Baram. Jumbo Poa. What about gold? What about XTI USD? What is XTI USD? EURUSD. Okay. So what has said first? We've got some likes already, and that sounds like I did a good job then. Thank you guys. Awesome. So this is Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Okay, so what first? Gold? We can do gold. Okay, so what is really happening to gold, okay? Gold is moving higher, came down on the first candle, on one candle, quite hard and quite fast. That is 277. All right. Then we have some pullback and then smaller and smaller candles. So to me, this looks to be like buyers are buying in or thinking of it as to we are slowing down the momentum. Can this level be broken? Yes. But as you can see, we have already broken above the sell entry for today or for the week. So for me, this is quite elevated. And what do I mean by that? It looks technically from right now, today, at this very moment, it looks to me like it's going to go higher. It's just a pullback. Okay, just a pullback. Then, this webinar does not contain any investment advice. It's only for educational purposes. Trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Trading Forex is high risk, high reward. So, take that into consideration before investing, because this is investments. Okay, our bias is still intact towards the downside odds. Yes, also we are still tilted to the downside, but price went up. So for us, we are like, okay, it doesn't go our way then. Okay, fine. Then we'll let it go. Either that or you become a buyer, but I'm not a buyer, so yeah. So really, as a buyer, you see what you want to see. As a seller, you don't like this at all. I think we talked about that, around that when gold really goes, it really goes, and you really have to be there before. But I can't really see any entry. I can't see any entry at all. It's just rising, 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 poof, down. Okay, no pullback, no retracement, poof. There's a pullback here, poof. There's a pullback here, poof. So, and then I can see strong candle, very little pullback. Not so strong, pullback. Not so strong, but 100% retracement before a new low. That's, to me, that's how you stop it. That's how you stop a trade. That's like 1, 2, 3, done. So if this is going higher, okay. But if it's going lower, don't blame me, but it looks to me that momentum is slowing down, coming back down to where people want to buy. So that's that. If you are a gold trader as a buyer, that's your entry. That's your price. Congratulations. Yeah. So what else? So Aussie-CAD was requested for. Aussie-CAD. Yeah, okay, nothing much here, I guess. Maybe if you want to take it down to here and say, okay, awesome, we can do that and then that and that. What's the target? Maybe back up to this high here. How much is that? How much is that? 50 pips. I was too low even. Okay, at least that's your entry here. Coming back down to 50, 90, 90, 80. Okay, if you're a seller, this is not a sell. But I'm on gold. So that's the buy entry. It doesn't need to be as a buy entry. To me, technically, price has slowed down. It's not going so fast anymore down. Can still continue. Yes, you can still continue to go down. But it looks to me like they're loading up. So, yeah, that's that. What else was it? Aussie New Zealand yen. I'm going to go fast through these ones because I don't think there's a lot of people requesting for it. But yeah, okay, that's gone. Dead. Okay. What do you do then? As a seller, this is gone. Okay. Then we will not write this time, this week. Okay, fine. I can take that. So if you are wrong, what do? You have two possible reaction patterns. One is leave it, come back when the price comes back. Two, you start chasing it. And chasing it only for me makes me dizzy. I can't do it mentally to change direction like that. But you're asking, is there any entries here on New Zealand yen before it went like a rocket out of SpaceX? Yes, that's an entry, that's an entry, and that's an entry. Why do you say so? Because that high is higher than that high, and that high is higher than that high, and this low is higher than this low is higher than this low. So we have a new small trend here. If you're a buyer, this is where you buy. and then you got rewarded beyond means. Okay, and this one today is a bit elevated, it went too fast. Are we then looking for a pullback? That's what you would like to do, like to see. But so far the sells is gone. And well, you can say that this is a sell pivot, but it's higher than this high. It's higher than this high. It's higher than this high, so it's really a new high. So it didn't break out as we wanted, so yeah, I think that's kind of a thing. Yeah, I really feel you on that bottom where pullback is very sharp. Yes, that's true. But it's also that's your entry. You have it on support. You don't get on the if you like it's the buy for this week, and if you don't get that buy this week, and if it doesn't go your way as a bar, then it's gone. Like then it's bearish. Then you just deal with that. Mr. Roland says, "Hi, Vin, do you see a huge V formation Aussie dollar?" I can look at that later. Betty was asking for Aussie-CAD. We've done that. That's for a buy. New Zealand yen. That's also a buy. With an entry somewhere here. I'm stop loss down here. EURUSD. I know you guys have requests. I'm just going to serve the one who came first. And I think I've said yesterday nothing has changed here. Okay. If you're a seller, you sell here, sell here. If you're a buyer, you look for new high, come back, buy. So this is nowhere right now. Right now it's just in the middle of nowhere. And then New Zealand Swizzy. You have to be fast. Yeah. Okay, fine. Then Baram, then we're not taking that investment. You know, you're not going to force anything because the markets will come to you anyways, right? So it's not really about pushing into your direction or whatever, but once you have the market conditions, you take it. So what is happening here? Okay, you can say that's a low. Okay, that's a high. Okay. So if you are a seller, you're like, awesome, I got my pullback. So that's kind of my entry here. That's an entry to sell. Other than that, you as a buyer, you're like, awesome, we have a new high. Let me look for any pullback. And maybe this will go down here as a inverted head and shoulders, but it's not head and shoulders because it's in a range. So yeah, and then it's any pullback up to 60-ish, 59, 70. Hi, Sami. I will do Euro again. I'm just going to go through the last New Zealand that was requested for. New Zealand dollar. Okay, so I'm just going through who's the first one. You just have to be first and quickest on your keyboard, and then I will do it. So New Zealand dollar, where was I last time with? I was talking with one of my students earlier. I think it's a couple of hours ago. So we're talking here. So price was here then. Okay. We made a new high. We said pull back to here. Tomorrow would be an amazing thing. We have resistance here, and then we have resistance here. Okay, so either way, you just do this. All right. Congratulations, upwards. The sell is no longer valid. The buy is soon to be valid. If you didn't buy down here as everybody else, you are likely to have a second attempt. Unless it just goes straight like a rocket, then you can't blame yourself because you were not in it here. And that was like around market open in the hours after market open. So Yeah, that's that. I'm done with those pairs. Okay, good, good, good. So Betty, you're welcome. Give me a like on that. Gold we have talked about. Thanks, Mike. You're welcome, Sammy. Gold. What is XTI, people? XTI USD? Or is it oil? Is it US oil? We didn't do oil yesterday, people. Sorry about that, mate. So I have said 34 is a target for this month. And it's going to go higher. And it's I think we might do this before we do this again. Potentially. Is this a reversal? It's a 4-hour reversal. So it's a make it or break it for bulls, according to FX Street behind my face now. Okay, so a bit more engagement. Okay, more engagement. Okay, good, 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 good. Also, okay. So what are we doing here? What is oil doing? What are we fundamentally doing? What are we technically doing? Technically doing, we're just going higher. Okay. So these are just small pullbacks before we have a stronger one. We're now at 33. We're at 33, touched 33 before going lower. Is this a place you would like to buy it again at 31? Well, I don't know. Is that a buy you want to buy? Because it seems like it just goes straight up. So it's like going to heaven, and then the day it pulls back properly, you are not in it. So looking at it technically, that's kind of your entry because that's the previous high. Okay, that was a limit order. And then you have to wait for a new high, pull back, and then you continue mission. Is this going to sell off? Not at the moment. You need a reversal up here. You need risk off, which we just went away from, which kind of oil has ignored anyways. So right now it's going higher. So yeah, enjoy the ride. Jimmy Donnelly, I'm just doing oil right now. What do you want? Or yeah, maybe we're asking. Yeah, okay, fine. Sorry, my bad. You're saying that XTI is oil. Okay, so we are doing oil now. But we haven't really had a large pullback on this one, people. That's a major risk. Like, we haven't touched this one yet. So that's a $5 move-ish. So is that something you would consider? Yeah, that's definitely a risk. But it didn't come back here, though, did it? Okay, it did something here. Okay. So you would love to have seen it coming back down again. So yeah, I guess it's up 6% today. Okay, so it's really strong then. Okay, so we have a higher high compared to that high, compared to that high, that high, that high. We're now coming into resistance at 34. Is that a place where you can turn lower and then go higher again? Yeah, okay. Good, good. But do you think it's going to go back to 60 now? No. We're nowhere near fundamentally there at all. Okay? So, if you're a seller, you need some kind of reversal. If you are a buyer, you need a pullback. And then you can take it higher. Okay? What else? I'm lost the count of who is who now. So it was oil, and then euro, pound was requested for. So really, people, just try to be early, and then I will do your pair first. First come serves first. And then if you are my mentorship student, I will take you first. You know, I don't know. I will have a reference. So if somebody can tag, if somebody can tag Ben, it's not called Ben though. He has a different name. So Ben, I will tag you here. This is your round bottom, a very round one. So yeah, we're going higher. I can't remember what the target was it? Target was 90 this week, so we are just going higher then. There's no real place to sell. It's just going higher. All right. So people. We have 15 likes and 28 people likes. What happened to those 13 that hasn't liked yet? What have we done? What can we do to make you guys happy now? You know, I have gone through the academic calendar. You can go through that one. We have gone through some amazing pairs with some amazing results, you know. So, you know, it's going to be awesome. It's awesome. Tremendously awesome. Yeah. Euro, pound, Aussie dollar. So Euro, pound for me is really just straightforward. We have breakout, new low, not as low as you want it, new high, pullback, buy. Pullback, buy. Until we reach the target of 90.40. Done. So you might have a couple of more entries before you take it. Is it too high now? Yeah, it's not a good trade, is it? So if you maybe take it up tomorrow morning, like if it falls now in Asia before Europe opens tomorrow, then take it up, I guess. But it's a resistance now, but if it makes a new low, like here somewhere, that would be good at 89.20. Johan says that I think you're drunk. Thank you. Skål. Well, I think that's funny. I think that's a funny comment. Awesome. That cracked me up. So yeah, continue. I think you need to find a pullback here and then take it higher. And target is there. I don't see any immediate reasons of why sellers would sell in this area, in this market. I think they might want to wait up at 91 area. Sounds more like a better deal as a support turning resistance. All right. Okay, so Simon says Euro J, please. Okay, so who else? Is there any other of my? Is there any of my other? So we're going yens then. I'm just looking for my mentorship students. Okay, so there was no way. Okay, I haven't attended them yet. So which ones were now? Euro yen, pound yen. What else has been requested for? Oh, ouch. Damn. Okay. Well, somebody has done their charting well, but it's almost done and it's Monday. Wow. Do you know what that means, people? That is it's not an OOP trade. Wow. That's a rocket. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it because I've left it. So yeah, it's so close to take profit for the day. And what happens when early, you have a counter trend. So do you think this is going to go higher now, Evan? It can potentially max go up to 1760 and then drop like a ton of bricks. Doesn't need to happen, but that's what I find most likely. it can just shoot through it, of course, and there's no pullback on the 1 hour. Like Maria, Joseph, and Jesus, and all of those help me. Yeah, there's nothing here. Well, there's one in here, but do you want to take that one? Surely? Okay, that one, maybe that's a 15, so that's a rocket. Okay. Up, down, 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 up. But this one could have generally fallen just as much as risen. This is a 50-50 trade. Okay. So this one's definitely bullish, definitely breaking higher than this high. Short term at least. And then we shall see, is this going to happen for next week? Is it going to be in this week only? But so far we are allowed to look for a buy, but now at the current price, no, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to buy right now. You need a pullback. No matter how much it costs you and your what do you call it? Your heart and your brain and your FOMO and your everything, you have to wait. That's how simple it is. Yeah, I will do pound yen now. I'm just doing euro yen. Just want to go through it thoroughly. So we have a downtrend. We have a higher low. We have a higher low. Now we have a new high. So you're just wanting to see it coming back down, maybe to 16.5 by the end of this week. Yeah. Johan said, I have yesterday listening to you and I have sold New Zealand dollar and pound dollar. What happened? Well, let me say something. What happened after the I'm not going to defend myself because I have nothing to defend. But what happened after the webinar yesterday was Jeremy Powell, the chairman of Fed, went to 60 Minutes TV program in America and said what I said earlier today in this webinar, where he said that they have a wide range of stimulus packages lined up, or not lined up, but they have unlimited ammunition to send into the market. So that's really positive to hear that a central bank can do whatever limitlessly or endlessly to boost the market up. That is positive, and that would weaken the dollar, that would weaken the yen, that would strengthen the pound, strengthen the euro, strengthen the Aussie, and strengthen the New Zealand. And if you trade in the Aussie dollar and Aussie yen and New Zealand yen and New Zealand dollar, that would be extra much. Then I would say, he also said that they're not expecting the economy to recover until end of 2021, which is a very negative statement. We think it's going to be end by this year and not so bad, but end of 2021 is like a worsened and more doom picture. But even that can put into a positive remark, as in, then they will do more stimulus, then that makes it even more likely that they will stimulate the market. Okay? So basically that's what happened. I don't know when it aired and if I should have known this ahead of time, and if I knew this ahead of time, I would have acted differently. And then pound dollar yesterday. This is my mistake, but I don't know why I didn't see it. But this is, I need to maybe do better analysis ahead of the market then. This is the monthly target. This is the entry. That is the exit. And what's happening on pound is really the exit. And if you sold pound, and I have done the lines, and it should be in at around 22, 22.11 or even now being around entry. So I haven't really sat down here to sell, but it's really up here. And if you say that's your entry, okay, fine. I think it's a bit low, but also you have to know that I don't know the future and we don't know the future, and we only trade those plans that we have at any given time. And if it breaks above here, above 22.50, then it's a new higher high, then it's no longer a sell. That's kind of how the market is. Jimmy Dolly, why are you selling? They are making higher highs on lower time frame. Jimmy, this was yesterday, and they didn't make higher highs on lower time frame yesterday. The close of this week was this candle, this red candle. No, this candle here was the close of the week, and on the 1 hour that is a new low. This is the opening candle. On my broker it was a gap, so it opened up here. So that's what I saw. And for that to be higher low and lower time frames, okay, then that's so a bit, but I can see that. But this happened afterwards, okay, and I saw afterwards that it was monthly target. So that's my bad. I have no what you call it, no problem of saying that I should have been more cautious in this market, but done is done. I know I have responsibility to guide you guys into better trades, better direction, and all that thing. So I will take that on my side. Yes, Jim, and I didn't see it until after the webinar. Okay, so I've already given out that you should sell here, but that was not until after I saw it. Then I should have seen it. Then I should have given a different remarks and sentiment. Okay. The other thing is, given that this target is reached now on 18th, 15th of May, sets up a potential for a larger time frame pullback with a sell in the 4th week. Okay? It can also just fall, but on the 4 hour it hasn't made a new high. It is still technically bearish. But yeah, I should have made that clear yesterday. So let's move on. For those who have lost, my apologies. But I am not I'm not in charge of your trading. You are supposed to make that trading decisions yourself. But I can be better at my communication. So let's continue. Pound yen was requested for. Okay, so we opened up low, well into the monthly target zone, but British pound yen has a tendency to move through this monthly target in May and end up in May down here anyways, even though it's just gone through. That's more the norm than the abnorm. So the past years that I've looked into it, it has gone past and it hasn't really done any major pullbacks as of it did today. So previously has just gone back to, it has come back here, continued lower, come back here, continued lower, come back to the previous low. It hasn't really done 100% retracement to the previous high on the 4 hour. Okay? So this year is different, and we know that if it closes above here, we have a new higher high. And that's what we know, and that's what we will trade. As in, we know that this is a new, if it is close above here, then we're not going to sell it anymore. Then we are done. Then we are no longer in a bearish trend. Fine. We move on to the next one and wait for it to become bearish again. The thing is, Rallon, is what happened yesterday with the Jeremy Powell speech is the sentiment in the market took a 180 degrees turn. It stopped. It was a stop sign all of a sudden. Nobody saw it coming around the corner. It was a stop sign. Then they went back. As we say, we don't know the future, but we can plan better once we also know what we have the information. The thing is, I had information at hand, I just didn't. I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't clear enough to be aware of it. That's my fault. Then pound yen is really struggle. No, this is really the entry around here. This is really where you would like to enter. We have now a new low and a lower time frame. Okay. So yeah, and if it now closes above this high at 131.41, okay, fine. Then let it go and let it be and let it go higher. For me, if it does, okay, fine. There is no remorse, and that's it. Okay, what else? Which else are the pairs you want me to cover? Pound yen. I am at pound yen enable. I have never seen a sell on lower time frames, so I stayed out. Now waiting on pullbacks. I agree. Also in New Zealand, so his pound is going up or down now. Let me say it again, Said. Let me say it again. If it closes above 22.40, it is bullish on the small time frame, but not on the 1 hour. So then you can look for a buy. But currently, this is a sell zone for sellers. So if sellers really take it down, like they make a new lower low. Oh, that was bad. So if they make a new lower low, so that's a new low, that's a higher high, that's a higher low, that's a lower high. So if it stops here and continues to make a new low, then you catch the pullback, and then we have a reversal of this small uptrend. But if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, then you don't get an entry. Fine. But right now, it's still bearish, it's still sellable, and it's still not bullish. Is it going to go up or down? I don't know. But I can just tell you technically what is happening. And where I believe and how I objectively look at the market. Try to, at least. Okay? USDCAD has been requested for. Okay, good. So what is happening here then? Okay, so we have, let me take away my drawings. We also have a pair who just moved down, kind of without any warning. This is the monthly sell price, yes. Tried once, tried twice, 4 times, tried to go, didn't. And I said yesterday this one was bullish, okay? But we're still in a trend, in a consolidation. So I hope I said somewhere in the lines of, I don't trade this. I don't see any good opportunities here. I don't find this worth my investment. But it fell. Okay, fine. Let it fall then. But if you sold, what was your reason to enter? Do you go down to a lower time frame and say, since we now have, where are you? Since we now have a lower high, lower low, that's not even a lower low, that's a lower high. That's a higher low. A lower high, not a new low, lower high. Is that where you sell? And then it just goes straight down. So I don't have any entry reasons here. Potentially this one, but it's still a 15-minute time frame. So I would be very uneasy and not so happy about this trade if you did this. So I hope it's just a temporarily pullback. Hopefully, well, that's what you can plan for. But right now, USD is weak and dollar and CAD is strong. So what's really happening is CAD is still strong and USD is weak, so it's false. Okay, fine. Risk on done. Then what do you do then? Either you look for a pullback into this area here and then down, or you let it go. You can't buy here, by the way. You can't buy here, by the way. If it rises again, okay, fine. That doesn't matter to me. Because I want you to have trading in a trending market. Okay, what is a trending market? How does that trending market look like? Okay. This is okay. This is a trending market. This doesn't look like the other one, okay? So here we have a new high, pullback, new high, buy. I'm only going by the highs, buy, nothing, and maybe. So how many entries did you get in this range? 1, 2, 3. Not 4, potentially 5. Potentially 5 entries. Which one the furthest away one made potentially, yeah, I would say here. That's the pullback. You get out here. 136 pips. Okay. That's a market I want to trade in. That's my alpha. That's what I want to teach you guys to do. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay if say it. Aussie dollar was requested for, I know. Who was that? Who was it? That was Rollon. Okay, let's go Rollon. Right off. Right on. I made this today and it is coming into resistance, but either way, if this is really going to break, it really needs momentum. I don't think hitting here tomorrow is a good trade. Maybe that will make it fly out, like really coming from down with a lot of momentum. But I also think that a pullback is great for buyers before heading higher. We are in a bullish market. We have always been. It's just that I have had a different view, and I have backed it up by saying we don't have higher highs. And I believe in May it's going to fall. That's just a theory. It doesn't need to happen. And then at this point, we made a new low. So this wasn't the support of it. We came back, sold it, and then it failed. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter to me. But what do you do now as a buyer? You are pumped right now. And you're like, I want this to pull back down here again. That would be a long pullback, but still, you want to pull back down to 64.70-ish. Okay. Let's see what the market gives you tomorrow, but you need some kind of pullback. And the further up you buy, the more resistance you're getting into. So are you just going to take the chart blindly and hope for the best? or I'm actually going to say that you actually bought it down here at the beginning. Because if you are a buyer, if you were so believing this was a buy, on the lower time frame you have double bottom, higher high, higher low. That's kind of your entry here. Because it's higher, I can move that one. It's higher than that high. Let's see. So this high here is higher than that high. So that's your pullback, okay? And then after it went. But after that, I don't see any retracements. This one of this high, maybe. But sometimes the market conditions is not with you. The market conditions just goes. So for you to have consistent profitable trading, you're supposed to be in those trades you can do again and again and again. And it's not very often where you just get a straight rocket, and I don't plan for rockets. Do you think fundamentally the Aussie has any business at those levels? Well, I honestly believe that the Aussie looks to be the one where you, let's not call it junkyard of all the money, but it seems to me like where people go to get return on their investment. Okay. So instead of, since they're being kicked out by the Fed in the bonds, kicked out, I mean they are, the returns of the bonds, the 10-year T-note is run so low that they have to go somewhere else because they have a mandate to get returns on their investments. Then they seem to have gone to Australia. So it's kind of like a mass succession, whatever you call it. Like everything is just drawn to Australia because everyone, like 1 went, 10 went, 20 went, and then everyone just follows it to Australia. That's what I see it as. Because Aussie is the strongest one. So why are you Aussie? Because Aussie is the one that is least hit, most likely to reopen. China is kind of trying to reopen again, or is reopening again. And I can't remember the GDP lately of China. I have to look into that and how really China is really doing. That would really, depend how the Aussie does, is how China goes. But it seems to be the most positive optimism around Australia, and therefore it can go higher, and therefore it can go much higher, and therefore we can go back to 70. But is that now? Are we actually having just a V-shaped reversal in Aussie dollar? Apparently. But it hasn't broken out yet. But for me, something is not making sense. I still feel like we're too high, too fast. And Aussie dollar doesn't believe in that. So, okay. Just do what the market do. Buy when it's bullish if you're a buyer. Nothing else than that. Sean, what are you talking about? I think Johan says, I think all the pairs are the same. They must fight against the dollar. All the charts are the same today. Okay, so what really happens, Johan, where you have, when the dollar becomes weaker, it kind of affects everyone. So it's not like just the dollar, because the dollar becomes weaker. It's like, how do you say it? Okay, if you go to the store, and you buy the whole range of all the barbecue grills that's in the store, that has an impact on that business. Okay, you will pay the salary, they will make profit, they will pay for their loans, they will pay their salary to their employees, they will pay for the rent of the building. So the owner of the building gets money, the employees get money, the owner of the business gets money, and so because dollar gets weaker, then money flows to other places like Aussie, like Euro, like Pound, like New Zealand. Because when you take money out of America, you have to put it somewhere else. It's like energy. Energy doesn't vanish, it just goes into a different form. Money doesn't vanish, it just goes into a different asset. And you just need to know which assets it goes. And it normally tends to happen again, and again. No, this is not technically. No, this is definitely what the Powell said. And you can say technically we took profit for the month on pound dollar, but that was kind of the only thing. Euro hasn't really touched the monthly pivot. And it has just been ranging at the bottom here. So for this to be a technical move, and this is to all the technical traders, why didn't it skyrocket here? Why didn't it skyrocket here? Why now? Right? But Euro USD is really like catch a pullback kind of a thing. And it's done. So what I think is going to happen now, the Pandora's box is open. That's when they should take profit. The buy should take profit here at $114. Okay, good. Done. Dusted. Can this now move a bit higher and then fall? Yeah. So that could happen. We thought we had a breakout here, and it came back all the way down here. So yeah, but of course, it looks to me like a temporarily move right now because it went so fast. But I don't know the future. But if you are a buyer, you're going to take any pullback. Maybe back to this support. Then take it higher. That's your job. If you find a pullback when it's bullish, when it has made a new high. But there's no guarantee of your profits. If you're a seller, you don't have any business here to do. Yeah, I think that's that. So somebody asked for EURUSD. So EURUSD basically has made a new high. EURUSD has made a new high, and the only way right now is to look for a pullback of some sort and then take it higher, or wait for it to start normalizing again before you catch the pullback. As a seller, you don't have any business here right now, right today. Euro Swissy was requested for. Okay. That's one of a kind. Okay. Is this a market you want to be in? Looks like a skyrocket thing. What about pound? Yeah. So pound still haven't made a new high though. So euro pound is just up in the air, playing SpaceX, and then you have, yeah, there's nothing here to do. There's no entry in euro Switzerland at the moment. Give it a couple of days. What else? Sean, you never said what you meant by your comment. USD ZAR says Muzola, okay. So this is interesting for everyone to listen to, okay? What is USDCAD to you? Okay, what is USDCAD to you? To someone, it's a heck of a trade, and it has a lot of pips, it has a lot of spread, and all that shenanigan. But what is it to me? To me, it's at least with my broker, I gain money when this one is falling. Okay, I gain money when USD starts falling. Why? Because dollar has 0 interest rate. So if I sell that one and buy the ZAR, which has 6% interest rate, I get 6%. And is it daily? I think it's daily. I get every time around 5 p.m. Eastern time and 11 p.m. European time. I get money on my investment. Every single day I hold it, I gain. So just by holding it, I think it's like 1,500% a year. Can your investment portfolio do better than 1,500% a year if you hold a trade like this for a whole year? So for this one, is really just trying to get the trade to stick, have it at break even, and let it run until it takes you out, and hope it never takes you out. So yeah, let's use USDCAD for you. Even though you're not South African, it's a carry trade. Well, it's a carry trade where you just hold the trade to get interest rates, and you just get paid every day for doing absolutely nothing. And this is the definition of making money while you sleep. Simplified, amplified. I just went through pound yen earlier in this video. Okay. So okay, that's that. The next pair, pound yen done, euro done, euro done, USDCAD already done, USDCAD already done. So any pullback, I guess. So where's this week? Where did we start the week? Today it's here. Okay. So right off the bat, that was a sell entry. Yeah, okay. UK minus, but maybe it's now breaking out of this wedge you guys are talking about all the time. Okay. Aussie yen has been requested for. We can look at Aussie yen, that's okay. So I've also told you guys in the beginning of this webinar what kind of risk you have this week. We have a lot of CPI, we have unemployment, so you really have to go into your currency that you're choosing, and you have to pay attention to the economic data coming out of your currency, so that you can update your fundamental buys and see if it's still intact and if there's a change in the trend of the data, because that's what we're willing to do now, is monitor, is the market improving, or is the actual economy improving, or is it just a dead cat bounce and where we are just deteriorating? Because this market will in the end look for support in the macroeconomics and just not sail its own sea forever. So yeah, that's what you have to keep an eye on. That's what you, as a trader, as an economist, as an expert, that is your job. And there's an Aussie RB meeting minutes you also have to read if you're an Aussie trader. So yeah, that's that. For Aussie yen, we have blown through my entry. I had an entry, whoops, I had an entry here and I had a stop loss above here. So I'm out of that one and it's just gone. Is there an entry here? If you are a buyer, yeah, there's an entry. There's your entry. And gone. So you have 2 entries here on lower time frame. 1, 2, potentially 3. 2 entries this week on Aussie yen. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, you haven't got anything at all. Okay? So that's that. Any other pairs? Aussie, New Zealand. So people really want you guys to be profitable traders. I really want to make you guys happy as I am while trading. I think we have the best job in the world. I think we are lucky that we can be doing this every day. And I'm lucky to have a Discord channel where we discuss trading every day. And we seek to improve ourselves every single day. Alright? So for Aussie New Zealand, that's really your entry down here. That's breakout, pullback, entry at 107.80. Now it's a bit late. Then we have to wait for a new breakout, new higher high, then pull back to the same one, and that's where you can enter again until it makes a new low again. This is not a new low on a higher time frame, so it's still cool. If it goes below here, then it's no longer bullish. But okay, good. Yeah, so other than that, people, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you guys for joining in. We have had a lot of laughter, and yeah, I am now in balance again with my wife. So if you liked anything of this, of the targets I've given you, of the knowledge I've given you, the time I've given you, the like button is there. The subscription button is also there if you want to see future videos. And if you need to have more of my help, there is Discord channel in the description below. Apart from that, I think that you guys are amazing and I can't wait to see you succeed in trading Forex. Yunya says, is gold covered for today? Yes, I did. And I said that right now, this is the entry for buyers. This is the price they want for the buyers. And if it doesn't hold, fine. Then let it go. But this is really the place. It just fell out of thin air, so there's no reasons to sell. There's no reasons to be sad if you didn't catch the sell. And if you caught the sell, you might have obeyed and changed your rule of engagement, which is not something I want you to do. So that's that. Okay? Thank you guys for being here. Awesome to have you here today. And tomorrow is a new day, new market movements, and we will catch it up in the Discord channel. Okay? Have a great one, people. Enjoy.